Right, I'm going to show how to set up a syslog server on a Raspberry Pi, because for some reason so many network admins out there don't have a syslog server, and I have no idea why not, because they're simple but they help tremendously with debugging when you've got issues and whatnot. So we'll set one up on a Raspberry Pi. So assuming you've got Raspberry and all already running and ready to go, we'll just go and install it as follows. apt-get install syslog-ng. This replaces the existing syslog that comes with Raspbian, because it's better. Alright, now that's installed, we're going to do the config for it. So the config's stored in etc syslog-ng syslog-conf. Now edit the config so that this syslog server listens for any syslog coming in, and also so it puts separate devices into separate files based on the IP address of what's sending the syslog. So if we go into the syslog config, which it's in the comments where this file is and what you've got to change, I'll just copy and paste it so I don't make a mess. There's the 3 lines that you really need, so that it receives from anywhere, sets up the file name in accordance with that in this directory that we're going to make, and logs it. So there's that. Also at the top of this file you'll see something about permissions. Now I want the permissions, it says 640, just going to change that to 644. That's so anything can read this, which I'll get to later. So get rid of that, make a directory. I'll make this as the normal user, so I'll get out of the super user. Make the, if it exists or not, home Pi files. This is so all those syslog files and other files that I'll do in other videos go to that same directory. So I'll make it so that everyone can read that. And lastly, I'll go back to sudo bash. That just puts you in super user really. Service syslog-ng restart. So now in that directory it's ready to receive syslog. So if I go to, I've got an Aruba controller here. If I just let's say enable logging to 1.37. Now see there's a file there. What you can also do is, let's say I want to debug some issue with the phone, let's say. So I'll go to the controller and say, okay, what's that phone? The phone is this MAC address. So I want to enable some debugging just for this phone, because let's say there's an issue. So logging level debug, user debug, and the MAC address of this phone. Now what you can do is go back to the log, and when you tail it with follow, tail that log, you can grep for just the thing we're interested in, which is this MAC address. So rather than have all the logs present, we can just, so if I, let's say I take this off wireless, there you go, some logging happened. Put it back on the wireless, and when it associates, some more logging. So if there was some sort of issue, you've now got logs, and it's that simple, and the amount of information you get out of it is enormous. So there's really no reason not to have it. Look, there's no real security about this. This isn't designed to be some secure super server. It's basically a tool for network admins or engineers or whatever to just get a syslog server if they need to. Say you go to a site and network admin says, oh, I've got no syslog server, because they never do. I don't know why not. You can just throw your own in, and with a Raspberry Pi, power it off USB. Most devices have a USB socket, you just power it off there anyway. So that's another use for the Raspberry Pi. If you want that to basically be accessible as files through other things, I'll get to them in other videos coming up soon, hopefully, with Samba and a web server and all that. I'm going to point them all to that same directory, which makes it a very handy tool.